in the way that only Giddy can. So take it away.
Okay, my awesome. Welcome, my friends, to our monthly Unleash Your Free Spirit event. We are honored. I am Guinea Jolly, and I am honored to be with my friend Judy, who is a co-host for this event. Our whole purpose and mission of this event is to create that nurturing environment where we all can really help each other grow. We both have our own businesses, very flourishing business in health and wellness industry and legal industry. But this has become our mission. We enjoy our monthly events. And today, what an honor is to introduce to you my friend, a woman I admire, Nicole Martin. Well, her bio says I cannot say enough words about her. But Nicole Martin is a Chief Empowerment Officer and the founder of HR Boost LLC. In recognition of her professional excellence and community involvement, she has been honored by multiple organizations. Most recently, 2016 Enterprising Woman of the Year champion by Enterprising Woman magazine. She's a sought after expert and has been featured in many newspapers and magazines like Forbes, the Daily Herald, Business Ledger, and Fast Company. She's the author of internationally known and Amazon bestsellers books like The Talent Emergency, The Human Side of Profitability, The Power of Joy and Purpose, and the recent one, No Fear Negotiation for Women. My dear friends, with those titles and the author, I'm sure you all are waiting to hear from Nicole and her amazing story, how she overcame her difficulties and how she unleashed her free spirit. By the way, she's also a host of an internet TV show, HR in the Fast Lane. Without further ado, let's welcome Nicole and hear from her wisdom and understand how we can learn from a leader like Nicole Martin.
Oh, thank you so much, Guinea. It's my absolute pleasure to just join everybody today. Let's see. So basically, I don't know when or where or exactly when it occurred, but I can say that I've come to a place where I truly live with the word that Guinea started with, which is gratitude, each day and each moment. And it's much deeper than anything I can tell you that drives me to joy and purpose every day in my own life and my own guiding principles. But it wasn't a magnificent, memorable moment that I recall with clarity. It really seems odd as everything to date had a milestone to it as I was growing up. And some of you were on the beginning of the call, country girl in disguise from Montana, conquer your small town, get bored, hop in the car, drive across the country to Chicagoland, seeking more. And, when you're young, you have these milestone ideas, maybe the generic ones like find something you love to do, make money, put a roof over your head, find a spouse, have children, become a mother or a father, whatever those kind of milestones are. And so, I had those typical things, but I can say that I woke up one day, and there's many times in life where we wake up discontented, feeling maybe not fully full, maybe feeling half full, even amidst COVID now. And I can say I woke up one day and I felt truly happy. And truly happy to me is a sentiment of where you can just be. And I don't know how many of you are challenged by that vibration of just, can I just be, where we don't have that running list in our mind or where we're going forward to the next thing. But I knew that just being in this moment at that time that I felt truly happy was enough. And I'd finally reached a point in my life where I could just be, and I could be grateful, and I could feel happy, and I could, happenstance, if I pass tomorrow, know that I lived with that joy and that purpose and gratitude. So perhaps I'd finally stopped focusing on what I was doing, and I was suddenly more present in what I was becoming or how I wanted to become. And I'd connected to a deeper meaning in my day. And I really think it came just after motherhood, after I was holding my second born child. I'm just truly grateful for that child. When my dreams had been realized. And it's kind of like that thing where you think of all those milestone points in your life and you checked every box. Check, 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 check. And some of us check those boxes, and sometimes those boxes, become not the right boxes, and our lives change, and happenstance, things happen to us. But I can just tell you, in that moment of gratitude for me, it came in the moment where I'd hit and checked all those boxes. And with my dreams realized, I'd come to that joyful realization that being the mother that I'd always wanted to be didn't mean I had to change who I was. It didn't mean that I had to stop growing. And it didn't mean that I had to put off dreams and just live vicariously through my child. And when I kind of checked those boxes in my mind, getting away from the predisposition of who I thought a mother was or what a mother had to do, or even my husband who thought maybe I'd be a stay-at-home mother. And then my husband came home from work, a whole nother story. But, rather I felt fully alive. So, when I thought about that, I really decided that after I'd hit all these successes and I started becoming more successful in the eyes of others, success is relative. I felt this debt of gratitude that I had to give back and serve. And I really felt that I was living by a grounding mantra to say to myself multiple times a day, and I live it now, even if it's busy, the phone's ringing, my children are screaming across the room, mommy, mommy, and I'll have just all kind of chaos around me. I come to one quote that I read when I was young, and I still use it as my grounding mantra. Some people need peace, air, a rock, a smoothing rock, prayer, but I could be even in a meeting in front of two people arguing, and I would say to myself, presence is more important than just being present. Meaning me right here on the video with you, across the country, wherever you sit. It's not just me physically being maybe here with you in my present being, bringing it to you through the screen, but it's in the presence. It's in the vibration, the energy, the tone. And Guinea did a great job already raising the vibration on the call at the beginning. So it's that presence. And when I think of that statement, I can bring myself back to, did I bring my heart, my mind, my body to this moment with you? And I strive to always bring my heart, my mind, and my body to every moment in the present moment, because I only have the guarantee of this present moment. And I really remind myself of that quote. It's grounding for me, so that I always show up the way that I want to show up wherever I go, and with the true heart of me forward to you and giving generosity and in that vibration of give and present, and I hear you and I feel you and I see you. And so that's my grounding mantra. And it also reframed my work in the field of human resources into what I deeply now believe is workplace ministry. I wouldn't say it's just HR, it's workplace ministry. So even when I go into workplaces, I can say to the humans that I meet, I see that you're here and you're in this company, but do you fully bring your presence? If I were to say to you the quote again, presence is more important than being present, how many people really do go to work and bring their full presence, or do they live compartmentalized still? Who I am at work, who I am at home, if that makes sense. So, really thinking that your presence is your God-given grace. You're special, I promise. Your parents hopefully told you were special and blessed. And then we grow up one day, we go into the workplace and nobody says, so what's special about you? What's your presence and what can you bring to my organization to tie up to what we're doing here? And isn't that sad? It's sad. I wish that everybody asked that question first of people. So I can tell you it goes way back though to something I learned as a child. And it's something I decided to put in the book, The Power of Joy and Purpose, which is a book that's out there now. And it's also something I'm being asked to speak internationally on, even going to Paris in June. Believe it or not, the world is opening and they already bought my ticket. But I can tell you, I never spoke publicly what my fuel is. So raw. Until I wrote that book, I cried as I typed the last page. And I realized something really powerful, that my story can help other people and it can help them through difficult times. And so, I shared this story in that book that I was blessed to survive trauma as a child. I learned young in life about a psychologist, a researcher, so I'll sum it up quickly for you. Dr. Albert Ellis, he created this ABC model in the world of psychology. I was very lucky at a young age to have something awful happen to me. Many people have things happen to them all the time. And we want to blame somebody. We want to walk around maybe and feel the victim card instead of the survivor. And it takes a journey. But the model that my mother taught me when I was young, ABC, first of all, I was special. I was a child of God. I was taught that. I was taught that we deserve to be happy and joyful and live with our God-given hand graces to serve others. And I was taught that. But the ABC model was that A is the adversity, the situation or the event that happens to you. We have no control over that. We really don't. The pandemic's a perfect example of that. But B is our belief. B is our explanation. Why? Why we tell ourselves that happened or why it occurred. The why is your belief, and you have that control over that belief, but many people forget that they have that control over their belief. And C is the consequence, the feelings and behaviors that our belief causes, whatever B is. But I was taught very early in life, yes, I had that traumatic thing happen to me, but my mother said, honey, that doesn't take anything away from you. You choose to let others know how you carry that forward. And B is our choice. Everyone has B, which is their lens, their why, their choice. It's not put upon them. Many people might think it's put upon them, but no, it comes from within and out, and you guys get to decide. So we all have the ability to claim that personal power to choose B. And by doing so, we have the choice to effectively change the outcome in C. We have that personal power. And we realize sometimes that maybe we gave that power to somebody else, to some other circumstance based on how we walked away from something. But I'm going to invite you to take that personal power back. Because I didn't really get to that place to truly unleash my spirit until I reached truly that deep gratitude moment that I mentioned as I started in my heart. When I went to a silent retreat, if you've ever been to one, you might know this same feeling. But if you haven't, I highly encourage you to take a silent retreat, if not in a ministerial faith path that you go on, but in your own home. And try not to talk for, 8 hours. Some people go for a week even. If you even see how fast I talk now and how butterfly my spirit is, imagine me in a room not speaking for 8 hours. It was a challenge. And I wrote down on a blank piece of paper 3 words. Who am I? I think it's really life-changing when you can actually fill that page, who am I? And not fill it with a single word of any roles. Not the fact that I'm a wife, that I'm a mother, that I'm a chief empowerment officer, that I'm a friend, that I'm all these roles that are put upon us. If you took a blank piece of paper and wrote, who am I want you to fill the piece of paper, but don't put down a single role. And hopefully you get down to some adjectives and some qualitative things that are you at your best, what you enjoy the most, what you lose time doing. And you can circle 3 words when you're done to get to the 3 things that you must do every single day to feel joy, to feel gratitude, to feel connected to God and the fact that you're serving from wherever you stand. And the day that I did that, that's the day that my life changed. And it changed for the better. And it empowered me to empower my husband to change his life. It empowered me to look in my children's eyes as I go to work now, to let them know that I'm living outside my home, to give to others the opportunity, because I believe we all deserve that opportunity to have joy and purpose through what we do, through our work, whatever our work might be, however it is that we serve, from wherever we stand. If you could put it to a greater meaning of your presence, what you put forth through these tools that you've been given by God's grace, how do you put those to work every day? And if you're doing that, well, then hopefully you're living fully with joy and purpose too, wherever you go. And if you're not doing that, I invite you to empower yourself, to know you have the choice and to choose to do it, even if it means changing your life from wherever you stand. And don't be afraid, because right now talent gets to choose where it wants to be. Every company defines talent differently. But remember what I said? God gave you those graces. your gifts, they're special. And who helps you see them more than you is the person that you come across that sees you with eyes that maybe you've never looked in the mirror with yourself. And that's something I've learned over these years as well. So I hope that inspires you, and I hope it takes you forth so that you can have that joy and purpose through whatever it is you do. But if you wanted to know how I did it, it's that blank sheet of paper. Who am I? Strip yourself of all the roles and answer the question. And then circle the things that highlight that are true. So God bless you all. And it's just my pleasure to be with you all today.
Thank you so much, Nicole. That was absolutely amazing. And I know it's going to be life-changing for a lot of people.
I hope so.
Do we have any questions for Nicole? We have a few minutes for questions. And Nicole, I know you have some things coming up too, and I'm wondering if you would share that with our audience.
Well, tomorrow I'm speaking at the NABO conference here in Chicago, but that's on more on my work side, right? Which is what I said is covertly workplace ministry, but HR. So I'm speaking on the multi-generational, multi-dimensional lens for protecting culture and work. That's tomorrow, right here in Chicago, virtual, the NABO Chicago Summit. I'm doing the, speaking live, obviously, as I said, at a virtual, I think, hybrid conference. It's women's health and empowerment. It's going to be based out of Paris, so I'll be there physically, but apparently it's going global. And it's an interesting thing that they're doing a hybrid stream. So, because you can't have a conference with a bunch of people. So it will be accessible. Star Conferences is putting it on. And that's where I will give my 30-minute keynote on the power of joy and purpose. You got a mini version of it. The 30 minutes starts much more raw and working from the place of trauma to really help people see and feel something maybe they are in denial about, and the strength of that as I walk off the stage, if that makes sense. So those are things that I'm doing and that are coming up on the calendar that will be accessible to all.
Nicole, really, we are thanking you for your presence right now. What a profound minutes with us. Who am I? I'll be honest with my family here. I look at Nicole always as the most successful business owner, entrepreneur. She's the founder of HR Boost and all that. And I see her speaking at so many places. I've admired her for many years. But what she came across, a true human being who knows the ABC of life. ABC, how beautifully put. And she really knows who she is. And maybe all, please connect with her, reach out to her any way you can. And Nicole, Judy and I are in gratitude for your beautiful, beautiful time with us. Who am I? May that question be answered for all of us.
Oh, thank you. I love what you two are doing. I think it's a wonderful outcry of raising vibration, even in this virtual world that we live in. And I'm a big fan of what you two are doing, and I'll always be supportive of that. And the people that join you, amen to them as well. And I'll be back now, maybe as a guest and a visitor, and just somebody on the next month's call.
Oh, we'd love to. We'd love to have you. Absolutely. And could you put your contact information in the chat, Nicole, so that if someone does have a question, they could reach out? Would you be willing to do that?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a public, you can find me out there on all social media platforms. So I'll put some information in the chat. Not a problem at all.
May I ask a quick question, please?
Yes, Carol.
Is there any spiritual leaders that you follow? I'm going to get your book, The Power of Joy and Purpose. Is there anybody you follow, maybe like an Eckhart Tolle or Abraham Hicks, that kind of thing?
It's really interesting. I'm a lifelong learner, so I follow a lot of things. I got a double major in psych on accident, right? Like you just learn. I'm somebody that grew up, I'll put it this way. I grew up with, my mother's an energy healer. So I grew up with God and I grew up with Holy Spirit, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then I came into more typical, what people would call religion, in my latter years. My husband was raised Catholic, and I remember going into it with my head, not my heart. I remember thinking, my kids are going to this Catholic school, and I want to know what they're going to teach my kids. No joke. And I went through this 9-month conversion process where you learn a lot about a lot of faiths, actually. The Baha'i Temple, for example, here locally, that's a fascinating place too that teaches about all faiths. But I really wanted to learn about that. And I learned much more about some of the things that are traditionally taught, if that makes sense. And when I walked out of it, I realized something, and my mother was really worried for me, I remember. I just came to this place of that we're all speak a universal language, but in different languages, maybe. And so I really speak with that whole framework of, you know, I follow a lot of spiritual leaders. I follow my own intuition, of course. And I think that's most important, is listening to your own intuition. And I'm very accepting of people from all directions, because I believe that we're all children of God, wherever we're from. So I kind of am open. So I wouldn't say I attach to just one or many. I say I walk around all the time learning, seeking, listening. And then I share. Obviously, I put a lot of raw things out. I never meant to be an author or speaker, but I'm an open communicator. And so if that helps you, Carol, it's more about being just open and seek. Like I went out last night downtown Chicago with my Jewish girlfriend. You know, it's always just being open to the canvas that's so beautiful of the places that we go and see and where we live. And I think it's really important not to fit into any one box or any one leader or any one follower other than your own heart, right? That heart, presence, mind, your intuition.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, Judy. And we were talking about it in Mother Nature today. I'm in Colorado on a hiking trip, and you see the mountains, you see the snow, you see the universe, you see the Mother Nature. Mother Nature is there. Its universe is there, embracing you. Embrace the moment. Embrace the present. This present moment, as beautifully said. Yes, Judy, my dear friend, we are ready.
Yes. Yes. So, and there's questions in the chat, and if you want to reach out and to Nicole, please do. We want to make sure that we honor our time here. And I so appreciate all the comments and everything in the chat. It's just so heartfelt from all of you. So as we go on today, and again, Nicole, thank you from the bottom